The metaverse poses many of the same risks and security pitfalls that the internet does. Here's a look at those issues and how IT leaders should address them. In the 1992 novel Snow Crash, people tried to escape the bleakness of everyday life into what the author, Neil Stephenson, dubbed the metaverse, a unified and truly immersive digital existence. That metaverse was no utopia, however, and danger and chaos lurked there just as it did in real life. It's hard to imagine people mistaking any of today's metaverse platforms for the realistic ones Stephenson depicted. Still, today's VR-based worlds do pose a number of risks. From security issues to the high environmental cost of blockchain and AI, business and tech leaders will need to confront a number of problems as they move forward on their metaverse strategy.
Metaverse dangers, not just benefits. Leaders at the University of Maryland Global Campus are among those dealing with metaverse issues. Students enrolled for select fall classes at University of Maryland Global Campus will be the online school's first cohort studying within a meta campus. UMGC's pilot program, done in partnership with Victory XR and using Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headsets, will offer a digital twin campus for both in-person and online students. UMGC leaders anticipate its immersive program delivering benefits such as enabling students to view artistic masterpieces as if they were seeing the art in the actual museums where they hang, said Daniel Mintz, chair of the university's Department of Information Technology and one of the faculty members heading its Metaverse initiative. But those benefits don't obviate the need to look at the real dangers. To that point, UMGC is working to secure the new Meta campus against the types of cyber threats that bombard traditional enterprise IT today, Mintz said. Metaverse pilots such as the one happening at UMGC are giving technologists and enterprise executives a glimpse not only at potential benefits of the platform but a look at the downsides and dangers. Although much of the current discussion around metaverse dangers is speculation, there's genuine concern about the darker side of the metaverse, said Kenny Cheng, an assistant professor at WPI Business School.
Here are those potential metaverse dangers. Increased data collection by third parties. Metaverse platforms are likely to increase the potential range and amount of personal data that third parties collect. That massive amount of data is a goldmine tech companies and marketers can potentially exploit. Since organizations will be employing third parties to access and use the metaverse, leaders will have to understand what data those companies will collect about their workers, customers and partners as well as how third parties will store and use that data, Mintz said. For example, as part of protecting the UMGC Metacampus, leaders have to answer important questions about the level of responsibility in protecting students' information from companies looking to market and sell data, Mintz said. Myriad privacy issues. Metaverse platforms require increased online reliance, which makes addressing data privacy question critical. The more data you put online, the bigger digital footprint you have, so you're going to run more risks, Cheng said. Moreover, industry watchers say that metaverse platforms will collect more of the newer types of data such as voice recordings, in addition to collecting conventional data such as individual names and addresses. Organizations will have to consider how they're going to identify what data they collect and store, what level of protection it requires and how to secure it, said Janai Marinkovic, founder of Tyro Security, a boutique cybersecurity firm. At the same time, leaders have limited legal guidance on some of those questions. We don't yet have clear definitions on what constitutes personal information in the metaverse, Marinkovic said. More complex and challenging access and identity management. Access and identity management seems to be both more complex and more challenging in the metaverse. Cybersecurity risks. Metaverse platforms pose many of the same cyber risks that current web applications pose. In addition, the extended reality hardware that many metaverse platforms rely on will create new vulnerabilities for corporate networks and ways for hackers to exploit data. IT leaders will need to address difficult questions about whether organizations are adequately equipped to detect, contain and eliminate malicious code in their metaverse projects. Coordinating incident response questions. A related challenge enterprise executives need to consider as they plan and launch metaverse initiatives is what incident response will encompass in the new digital frontier. IT leaders will need to understand how their teams inside and outside a Metaverse platform will collaborate to handle a Metaverse incident response. Issues from high levels of anonymity. For some, a primary appeal of Metaverse realities is the ability to take on an identity divorced from the reality of the physical, everyday life. That high level of anonymity presents opportunities for bad actors. Research on this topic is in its early stages, and it's not clear what mechanisms organizations could use to keep anonymous avatars away from their Metaverse worlds, Ching said. Anonymity already enables scams and abuse on social media and the internet more generally. Metaverse platforms are likely to make that even more widespread. Harassment and assault. Closely related to the issue of anonymity is the ways in which Metaverse platforms may enable new forms of personal aggression. Harassment in virtual worlds and assaults have already been a growing problem. Immersive experiences, particularly those supported by haptic technology, which transfers the experience of touch from the virtual world to the user, are raising questions about how to respect personal boundaries and how to anticipate circumstances where such incidents could arise. Responses to those questions aren't always obvious, especially in more nuanced situations. Lower levels of user vigilance. Despite Metaverse platforms' potential dangers, some users may relax their guard in virtual situations. At the same time Metaverse risks are growing, users may not bring the same level of vigilance around cybersecurity threats in those immersive environments that they've been trained to bring to their work environments. Possible reduced productivity. Some business and IT leaders are exploring Metaverse platforms for possible efficiency gains, but they shouldn't take such gains for granted. Research is also looking at whether people are really as productive when they're engaging with each other virtually. Some research shows that without physical interactions and the physical cues they enable, people could actually be less efficient than when they work closely together in real life. Widening of the digital divide. Metaverse platforms require access to and use of more technologies, such as VR headsets and even specialized bodywear containing haptic technology, which is a barrier to entry for anyone without the funds to pay for such technologies. Metaverse initiatives could shut out lower-income people from associated experiences and opportunity. The physicality of the Metaverse could also shut out people with certain disabilities, particularly if alternative avenues for access, such as internet versions, aren't available. The need to proceed with caution. With Metaverse initiatives ramping up, enterprise executives would do well to consider how to mitigate these risks.